Hey, this is Joe from iRunFar, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of more explanation as well as a visual about the types of mobility that we're working on. So we got a lot of really good feedback from the last article about some of the studies coming out saying that stretching is actually detrimental for performance. And those studies are true, but they're dealing with a specific type of mobility. So, and that in particular is looking at muscles and tendons. So this stretch band provides a good analogy for what a muscle and tendon unit looks like. So you've got this tendon which attaches to a bone, and then you have this muscular unit that contracts, but it also stores energy in an elastic way. So the reason that having a little bit of stiffness is important is we want to have that power. Whether that's an Achilles tendon pushing off behind or a little stretch reflex in the front of the hip that's going to power us forward. The stored elastic energy that happens in a muscle tendon unit is important, and what these studies have found is that if you do prolonged stretching, especially before exercise, these static long holds, what you'll do to this tissue is you will lengthen it and thus weaken it, losing power. But what performance mobility is about isn't just muscle and tendon or lengthening this unit. It's about looking at an entire joint system of two bones and the muscles around that. And in a second here, we're going to talk about what that means. So the system that we're really looking at is more like a hinge. So this right here is a hinge, and it is responsible for connecting this gate to this wall. And that's not unlike the hinge or the joint that occurs at the hip, where you've got the stable trunk and the hip that moves. This system needs to be able to move, and it's not just about muscle here and a muscle there. In this system, if this were the hip, this might be the hip flexor and this might be the glutes. So yes, these two have to move, but sometimes with the repetitive stress from ultra running in particular, this joint in here actually might get a little bit rusty. So what performance mobility aims to do is to make sure that at this hinge, but also with these straps attached, that this door can close all the way and open all the way. If it doesn't, then you have a problem where if this is stuck and won't close, this can pull and pull and pull and pull and break, as you see what just happened here, because that hinge is rusty. So a lot of injury processes will occur because you're pulling on this system that won't move. So performance mobility, in a sense, is making sure this entire system, the muscles and tendons, but also the joint represented by this hinge, can move.